kick taken by Jarrett Payton. And Payton works his way up the sidelines, high stepping a little bit. Forced out of bounds at the 45-yard line, so Kerry Joseph and the Argos will have good field position, something they did not enjoy in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was all Kerry Joseph in the first quarter and utilizing his legs as well. And you look at, and then in the second quarter, it was Darian Durant taking advantage of Toronto's misfortunes and miscues, and to me, you have to be advantageous. You have to be Johnny on the spot and capitalize on those situations, and Darian was able to do that in the second quarter.
The Argos did not have the football outside their 30-yard line in the second quarter, but now Jamal Robertson fights his way down to the Saskatchewan half of the field as he's taken down at the 49-yard line, a gain of 16.
Yeah, and you can't abandon the run, because you're down 24 points, or 27 points. You have to go out there and maintain, some type of balance offensively. Otherwise, this is going to get uglier in a hurry. And so it's a good sign to see them continue to stick with the run.
And here they come again. Robertson bounces outside. And this time, he is stopped by Ray Williams as he fights his way down to the 46-yard line. Jamal Robertson, a 32-year-old who has had his long tour through football. One thing he is, though, he is vested in the NFL pension plan. He got enough games in to be vested in that NFL plan. That is nice.
That is huge. Some people may be watching the Argonauts open up the second half here with 2 runs and saying, they're conceding this game. They're going to try to find some type of rhythm. I don't believe that's the case. I think you have to stay with the run game, and I know that Jamal Robinson's family and friends that are in the stands, we just saw that, are excited to see him continue to get the opportunity to do his thing.
Complete to Arlen Bruce, and Bruce fights his way down to the 32-yard line. So whatever Bart Andrus said to his group at halftime, they've come out firing here in the second half.
That's Arlen Bruce. It looks like whatever he did at halftime, number 5 right in your picture, on Eddie Davis. Eddie Davis coming over the top. He gets lost. He gets kind of picked and bumped high over the top, and that's what happens oftentimes when you got crossing routes like that. You got to work yourself through traffic. Eddie Davis has to redirect high and over the top. Gives Arlen Bruce enough space to come down with a big catch.
Now he faked it, Robertson. Swing it back to Bruce, and he makes the catch down to the 20-yard line. And Matt, we're going to say this delicately, but Arlen Bruce is playing in pain this week.
Yeah.
Capital P. He has, let's just put it this way, great discomfort in his posterior region. How's that?
Yeah, and it came out, unfortunately, but that's what it is. And, he's been standing around a lot this week, he's just, he needs to be out there, though. I credit him fighting through this because it's very painful. I understand, and he's getting it up.
Robertson fights his way down close to the 15-yard line, a gain of about 4. We talked about Jamal Robertson having family here.
Yeah, another up in the stands, enjoying a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Toronto.
There's his dad and his son here.
Man, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? Well, you can see Jamal coming out all over there. There's just a lot of similarities. Good-looking family.
Now the fake to Robertson. Joseph under pressure, throws down to the 5, and Arlen Bruce can't make the catch as Eddie Davis was all over him. And Bruce momentarily argued, but there is no flag on the play.
Yeah, and that's great pressure by the defense. And Kerry Joseph, little play fake here, comes out, and then you see in your face right there, Sean Lucas is all over it, and he's pressures Kerry Joseph to pull up and throw a ball before he was ready to throw the football, and credit aggressive play, bringing Lucas off the edge, knowing and anticipating that Kerry's going to boot with that football. Outside contained, stays high, forces Kerry to pull up and throw an errant pass.
Medlock's had a punt blocked for a touchdown, but is 2 for 2 in the field goal department. And from the 23, that is good, and the Argonauts open the second half with points. But a big hill to climb. Closed captioning of the CFL on TSN is brought to you by Sport Check. Sport Check, the power of sport.
Think they came all the way from Regina?
Maybe. Well, again, they might have stayed for the Grey Cup, I'm telling you.
And
this stadium's been good to them.
It certainly has.
Eric Morris takes the kick off, has some room, and here comes Morris out across the 25 to the 28-yard line, and he's brought down by Willie Pyle. As Darian Durant and the Saskatchewan offense will go back to work. We mentioned that the Argos, or the Riders rather, won their last 2 Grey Cups here in Toronto. It was 20 years ago that Saskatchewan beat Hamilton in that classic Grey Cup game here in 1989. We'll be in Regina in a couple weeks' time for a game between the Eskimos and Riders.
Kent Austin went off that day.
And they're going to have that team together. The 89 team will be celebrated that night in Regina. Looking forward to that. Durant on first down. Has time. Fire on the outside. Shivers can't make the catch. Great chance there for the Argos to make a quick strike on defense, but Jason Shivers couldn't squeeze it.
You were talking there, Gordon. As soon as he dropped and stopped and tried to throw that long out, yeah, I knew it was in trouble, and I said, uh-oh, and I apologize for getting on you there. But I tell you, this ball had no business being thrown. It was going back the other way, and he's got to be coming back the other way with that, especially down like this, 21 points. Boy, that would have gone a long way in making this a ball game.
And Durant took a late shot as well. Second and long now for Saskatchewan. That's a early jump there by Charles. And it was not flagged, and the pass is complete to Chris Getzlaff, who was close to a first down, but it looked as though Hugh Charles was at least 3 yards offside.
Yeah, there's just that's designed to take advantage of a receiver just finding a hole, get the ball out of your hands in a hurry, and let him break a tackle and hopefully move the chains or put you in a situation where you're thinking about going for it. Stephen Giles looks like he is coming to the game. They're going bigs, and
let's have another look at that, Matt, and see if Charles was offside. Yeah.
You think? It happens. He's small. They might not have seen it.
Third and short. Giles in with a short yardage team for Saskatchewan. Giles kind of got a late jump there, but moved his way ahead and should have it as Ivan made the stop.
Yeah, he did. You really can't hesitate, because if you hesitate, you'll have the defensive line chewing at your knees, and you'll have separation. And what you want to do is you want to get small in behind your offensive lineman. You watch Giles hesitate and create separation right here, the separation, and he's really got to hump it to get in there and power for a few inches to hopefully pick up a first down, and they got it. But he's got to do a better job of following the tails of those big offensive linemen into those holes and follow that surge.
And this is the give to Charles. Works his way out to about the 42-yard line before he's stacked up by a host of Argos. Kevin Ivan has likely moved into second place on the Argos all-time tackles list now.
That's unbelievable. He, Donnie Moan, and the leader, Mike O'Shea, are all over 500 tackles in their careers as Toronto Argonauts. And the thing that impresses me is Ivan's still got many years left in him, and he could make a run at the unthinkable and going after Mike O'Shea's number of 800 plus.
Second down for Saskatchewan. And now Durant goes over the top. He's got a man, Dressler, but the pass falls in behind him. Dressler had snuck in behind Shivers on the coverage, along with Will Poole, but Durant could not get him the football.
But this is not a scene you want to see too often if you're Paul LaPolice. Kevin Huntley, 6'7", 290 some odd pounds, sitting in the lap of your quarterback, helmet in his chest plate, burying him. And talking to Kevin yesterday, he says, when I get to the quarterback, I come with mean intentions. He wants to hurt him, and you can see him wrapping him up. He did not lay off. He wrapped him up. Perfect form tackle. credit Durant getting rid of the football, not taking the sack, and putting his team in a better situation, punting the football away.
I was standing next to you when he said it, and you appeared to have a little flashback there, a little post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, I was leaning like I was going to run because I didn't know if he was losing it right there or snapping in front of me. But he is an imposing figure.
And he did say it with a gleam in his eye.
And he was happy to talk about it.
Y'all, Cameron, Sean, love y'all. Baby need shoes.
He was working with Desai Williams, the Argo strength and conditioning coach, for the last 10 days or so, rehabbing from an ankle, and he was actually running out of the straps they used to contain him, and he was breaking out of them. He was so strong and powerful. Desai went to the staff and said, "We got to get this guy in the field."
Well, kick to Devontae Edwards, returnable, but a great special teams tackle made downfield by Saskatchewan's Jarrell Freeman, who has a touchdown today as the Riders have a big lead. Tomorrow, the IndyCar Series takes to the streets of Toronto for the 2009 Toronto Indy. TSN's got live coverage of the race starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. I'll tell you what, if they let cab drivers enter that, those Indy racers wouldn't have a chance.
I'm not touching that one, boy.
Kerry Joseph under pressure, the ball knocked way up in the air and intercepted.
Stevie Beggs.
Steve Beggs, the defensive player of the week in the CFL, is making another bid. He's forced a safety in this game, and now he's got an interception on the tip ball.
Just look at the explosion. Look at the explosion off the edge, and then once the ball's tipped, there he is. You can see him right here. Look at the leverage he's getting down there. He's underneath the O-lineman already. Bang. He's untouched. He takes outside. Arms are up in the air.
And it was
Joseph goes head over tails. And Stevie Beggs explodes to the football. Watch the explosion, the redirect right here. Bang. Now it's sprint time. Great athletic play.
Now a chance for Charles. He breaks free. And Charles with a first down gets inside the 15-yard line. Another Saskatchewan first down on a gain of 20 yards.
You know, Gord, when I saw this kid play last week, he reminded me in this specific situation of Corey Holmes when he was in full flight playing for Saskatchewan. And when you see Hugh Charles take the edge right here, you can almost see the Corey Holmes right there and the explosion and the quickness that he has to the corner. Boy, you can't coach that. That is just raw speed.
Saskatchewan has forced 11 turnovers in 2 games so far now. And trying to take advantage of another one here as Charles gets a couple of yards. The Riders outscored the Argos 30-0 in the second quarter, in which they dominated every facet of the game.
It's like they were hitting them with brass knuckles or something, because they were just destroying them and drawing blood every time they stepped on the field, whether it was defense, offense, or special teams. They were making things happen.
Should mention Jason Claremont remains on the sidelines for Saskatchewan after leaving the game in the first quarter. And we'll get an update from Claude Fink when that's available. Second and long. And Durant. Quarterback draw. And he'll fight his way down to about the 8-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of a Saskatchewan first down.
That's one of those plays that, they had success with last week, scored a touchdown against BC with this. And Toronto's been game filming and studying on this. And, it's one of those plays where you can't run it too often, particularly down in the same situation. Kind of stumbles a bit, but that play had no chance of going anywhere because Toronto was waiting for it. Got to put that one away a while and try a different situation where to run it and to catch a defense off guard and successfully be able to execute that play. So nice job by Toronto doing their homework and making the play and forcing this field goal attempt.
Conji had one blocked earlier in the first quarter. And this time he bangs it off the upright. And so Saskatchewan gets nothing off the turnover. And the Toronto Argonauts dodge one there. Still down by 21. Local food bank, Saskatchewan has 11 sacks in a game and a bit after 9 last week against BC. 2 today. Toronto has won. On first down, Jamal Robertson with the carry, and he gets out across the 30 to the 31-yard line, and Stevie Baggs has one of those sacks for a safety.
Yeah, he's on the bench. He was getting tended to by the trainer down there, looking at his left leg, and taking a breather right now, and getting a foot massage. He's had a hard day. You know, it's like gotta get a pedicure in a little bit here. You know, life is tough when you're a rider making plays. That's what can happen for you when you do well in Saskatchewan.
Second and short. Joseph throws it over the middle, and the pass is complete to the intended target, Steve Schmidt, the tight end, and that'll be a first down for Toronto.
See Stevie Baggs, you know, his body of work today. Great move on one of the best tackles in the league, and gets a safety sack there. Covering, flying down on special teams. Big tackle here. Playing the run like they're supposed to. Squeezing, and getting to the ball. Knocking the ball up in the air and making an athletic play with the intercept. This guy's all over the football field, and he's doing it for his mom, Lola, on her birthday.
Might be 2 for 2 in the Defensive Player of the Week category. Lots of time for Joseph. This is Robertson. Bounces off the first tackle. Makes his way up for a first down and gets close to midfield as he's finally brought down at the Toronto 53-yard line. A gain of 17 yards.
I know the Robertsons in the stands, you know, are enjoying watching their son play some football here. And when he gets an opportunity to touch the ball, he's electrifying. You know, last year he didn't get that opportunity consistently, and when he did, he made big things happen. And again, last week, 134 yards on the ground, over 200 yards total yard in offense, and then he's